All right, what is shaken, Internet? This is Salt's bringing you the League of Legends patch 5.2 notes, again with my special guest, Kendo. Say hi, Kendo.
Hi everyone.
Very nice. So Kendo, again, is my jungler friend, and since I know absolutely nothing about what goes on between the lanes, I've brought him to bring me the information there. This will be a lot faster than the last one, so since there's a lot less notes, but we'll go ahead and just start at the beginning. You ready, Kendo?
Mm-hmm.
All right, patch updates to 2015. What's going on here? Nidalee's passive has been changed. You can explain this, maybe.
Yeah, I think this right here is just a bug fix. Later on, in the patch notes, it actually explains what it was.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah. So
Okay, that's fine.
yeah.
Uter has some weird things. I don't really know what was going on. I've never seen this, but there's some visual bugs with Uter that were also fixed. So we'll just keep moving on down. So let's start at the real big thing, removal of Deathfire Grasp. Deathfire Grasp is an item that's been around for a very long time, and it has been removed from the game, period. End of story. I think this is really going to hurt some assassin champions like LeBlanc, RE, that kind of thing. They even say in the notes that, yeah, it's going to hurt them, but they are going to change them. They've
Yeah,
already changed
they're
them anyway, so.
yeah, they're buffing a lot of the mid lane champs to sort of compensate for this being removed.
I kind of like it. They even mentioned Vigar in here, and I'm like, oh, Vigar! Oh, Vigar without the Deathfire Grasp. It's just like, hey, he's a cooldown bot. Basically, he deletes one person, and then, 20 seconds later, he can delete somebody else, maybe.
Yeah, so now maybe his deletions will be limited to other mid laners or high AP champions.
Yeah.
But
I don't think anybody really. I'm sure there's definitely people that are going to be whining about this Deathfire Grasp being lost. I think that it's an okay change with the amount of assassins we've already seen. And people, I mean, if you get it far enough ahead, you're still going to be able to one-shot delete them instantly. So it doesn't really matter.
yeah, and I agree with you. I do like this removal. I've never really liked people being able to 100 to 0 within a couple of seconds, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about
Well,
it. So hopefully now
I'm
you'll
okay
have.
with it. I'm okay with it. But one thing they actually notice here is they say the Andre's Torment was made as a tank busting thing because Deathfire Grasp used to be the only tank thing. Like for a mage, if somebody built like high health or something like that, you had to get Deathfire Grasp and use it immediately so that because it did the percentage based health based on how much
Yeah.
health they have. So with Leandre's Torment, which is another percentage based health item for AP casters, you really don't need both of them. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a mixed bag either way. So I'm okay with it now that they have Leandre's Torment. We'll see what they do with all the changes. I know they've got quite a bit of extra stuff to go on.
Yeah.
So moving on down, overlapping crowd control effects version 2. So they still haven't changed it on? They still haven't turned this on, supposedly? They said sometime in the next week they're going to turn this on effectively. I guess we already talked about this, so we're
Yeah.
just going to smooth on over. It's going to be turned on eventually. All right.
We'll see. We'll wait and see.
Yeah. Attack
I
move commands. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's still probably gonna be such a minor fix that we won't even notice it once they
Yeah.
turn it on. But
Not at lower elos like us. Well, like me. I can't speak for Kendo, but I can speak for me, and I'm a scrub. So, moving down, attack move commands in stealth. This is a minor change. Basically, when you're moving around in stealth, it did cause you to attack, or no, it didn't cause you to an attack, and now it does. So you can't just a move all the time, as Evelyn.
yeah,
Actually, I think
actually,
you probably still do.
yeah,
Well, I guess Twitch maybe had a problem like this.
yeah. I was gonna say I don't use attack move particularly much, and I've never noticed an issue while in stealth with it.
I
So
guess maybe some Veins had an issue with it when they were doing their
yeah,
thing.
that's probably what the big thing was just high level players trying to attack move while they're in Viz with Vayne and running into some issues with that.
I guess.
So they're just I'm guessing they're just trying to fix it. So because
Yeah, this is a bug fix, if anything, in my
yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, if you think about it, this is how you would think it would work. So
So the next patch note is Tristana. Holy cow, they put her at the top of this list, and they absolutely should have. I'm glad I didn't do this on day one because I did get a chance to play Tristana. I'm sure you've gotten to play Tristana or play against a Tristana, at
yep, I've
least.
gotten to play her.
Oh, yeah. So what do you think of the new Tristana?
She is a lot different, and she's very scary if she gets ahead.
Well, she's always been scary. She's always been a
Yeah,
late game AD carry.
yeah. But with her new E, her explosive charge, where she can put it on you, it's kind of like a zillion bomb, and then if she auto attacks you, it gets bigger. It definitely adds to her poke. I've
Oh
noticed that a lot
yes.
in lane when I'm against her. She'll just run up and toss an explosive charge in my head before I can even trade back, and so definitely adds to her in lane poke quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I've also gotten to play as a Tristana and against a Tristana, and I absolutely love this change. I think this change is incredibly good for her. She feels so much more, like a real champion. Like before, it seemed like, I mean, she, don't get me wrong, before she was not broken at all. She could still hang with the big dogs, but I think this change has really kind of bumped her up even more. I'm
yeah,
expecting some big nerfs.
yeah. It also gives her a little something else to her kit. Like previously, you could jump in and get resets and jump out, or you could, just get an attack speed steroid, and that was pretty much all you could do with Tristana. You occasionally blow somebody out of a fight with your ult, but she seemed pretty simple. But I do like this new change, adding another layer of complexity to her with the explosive charge, and also the explosive charge on towers has a bigger blast radius, but it also does quite a bit of damage if you can stack it all the way up too. So she's
hmm On
definitely a
towers, yeah.
menace. Yeah, she's definitely a menace when she can get to a
So
tower
yeah,
too.
so yeah, two things I noted about this is first, I don't think a lot of people realize that you can throw that on the towers, and
Hmm.
even if they do, they don't realize that it has a ginormous range of explosion when it blows up on a tower. It blows up like 2 to 3 times as big as a
Hmm.
normal explosion. It feels it is a
Yeah, and
much bigger explosion on the tower.
yep, and it still does quite a bit of damage. And I
Oh yeah.
definitely found this out the first time I played with Tristana. I was trying to CS under tower, and she just tossed it on there, hit the tower once or twice, and then walked away. And I took quite a bit of damage
I
from the explosive
know,
charge.
and she can wave clear even better because of that explosion so big on the tower. Like
Hmm.
you can toss it on the tower, wait for the wave to come up, and then pop that thing as many charges as you can get on it, and it'll
Hmm.
just decimate a wave. It's just like boom,
Yeah, oh
gone.
yeah, absolutely.
And one other thing I didn't know, I didn't realize this, but in the patch notes it states a couple of things about her base stats and stuff, and basically she lost a whole bunch of base stats. She
Hmm.
loses some growth stat. She on her attack speed, base armor's gone down, base health has gone down, and her passive has actually gone down. So I mean, Tristana used to get longer range as the game went on, and it's only 2 per level. But I mean, after 18 levels, that's 30 range. That puts her right about at Caitlyn, if not right below Caitlyn, even at the end game, even at
Hmm.
max level.
Yeah.
And I think that was a kind of an attempt at, hey, we're changing her quite a bit. I think we're making her a little bit stronger. Let's kind of bump this down. I don't think these changes are enough, in my opinion. I think Tristana is still very strong after these changes.
Yeah, I wouldn't say maybe that she's too overpowered. You might be
Yeah,
right. She
yeah.
might get
I
another
think she's
nerf,
strong. I think she's
but I
strong. I don't
think
think
I
she's
think
broken.
yeah, I think she's right in there. Maybe a little bit below Graves.
That's true.
Right around a decent Callista player. I wouldn't, I would.
Don't even get me started on Callista.
I just got savaged by another one just
Oh
before
man, we
this
got it. We
too.
got to start banning that Callista. God.
We got to.
Okay. All right. Well, do you have anything else to say about Tristana?
Nope. Like the changes.
Yeah. Only last thing I want to say about Tristana is they actually nerfed her quite a bit if she goes AP.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
cut her magic damage, they cut her ability power ratios. So AP Tristana is even less of a thing than it was already.
Yeah, and the only time I ever saw that was ARAM. So, maybe people will just swap over to an AD build and ARAM instead of an AP.
Yeah. Which is a bummer. I really like building AP Tristana.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Okay, so moving on, we have Ari's changes. So with the removal of Deathfire Grasp, they had to do a couple of changes to Ari. They made her basically she gets a speed up when she shoots out her orb when on her Q. And what happened with this Foxfire? I'm trying to figure out what happened to Foxfire. Basically, they increased the damage
And
pretty decently, actually.
yeah, and they it says it fixes targets. Oh, so it doesn't target something that's about to
Yeah, they,
die.
they just
The
made it smarter,
Foxfire.
supposedly.
Yep. Hmm.
Supposedly, we'll see if that works. And Charm, I actually didn't realize that Charm targets take 20% bonus damage, and now they do not. I did not
Yeah,
know that.
I definitely noticed this because whenever I would go to gank an Ari and she would hit me with the charm and then blast me with her Q, it would do almost all of my health instantly.
I figured she just did a whole bunch of damage. I didn't realize she did bonus damage on Charm.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was
but
quite a
but the
significant
Charm
amount.
does a lot more damage by itself, and it has a higher ability power ratio. So I mean, it's gonna be hurting a lot more in general. I
Yeah, I
don't.
think
I think it's a nerf to the charm overall, but anyway, would you?
yeah, I would agree, but I think these are tweaks along with the other, buffs that she's getting. I think that's a good tweak. They're removing the damage, but they're compensating it a little bit by adding, some later damage and also scaling up the ratio. So, while, the 20% might hurt a little bit, it's not a complete nerf into the ground with that higher ratio.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think these are good tweaks. I think
Yeah.
the Q is definitely noticeable. I've noticed, quite a few R's, they'll pop their Q and then be able to run people down while that's still out there. So
Oh, I
definitely
hadn't even thought
helps.
about that. Yeah.
Yep.
They can actually run people down along with running away.
Yeah. So yeah, as I say, helps make her a little bit safer, but also makes her quite a bit deadlier if you're trying to run away from her.
So moving on down, we have Akali. Akali has very small changes. Well, I mean, I say they're small. Basically, a little bit of nerfs. They reduce the range on her ultimate, and her Crescent Slash no longer detonates her marks.
Yeah,
Just nerfs to Akali.
I haven't really played a lot of Akali very much, but I know that she's been banned out a lot, and I've actually seen a couple of them, you know, pretty lethal. I don't know if
I mean,
these
she's a good
nerfs are enough.
assassin. She's a good
Yeah, oh
assassin.
yeah,
I do
definitely.
not think that Akali is as strong as everybody, at least in our games or our elo. They're always banning her, and I don't think that that's a thing.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think the reason they're doing
she's
it
gonna
is
delete
she's
people. She's like Vigar. She's gonna delete people,
yeah, and
but
I
she
think
can
I think
also be
that's the reason
deleted.
why she's one of the few remaining untouched, well, previously untouched, potent assassins,
It's
and
true.
they've been nerfing them down. Zed got rid of Deathfire Grasp. They've been nerfing all the assassins and stuff. So
I don't think Zed builds Deathfire Grasp.
no, I know. I'm saying that they nerfed him either this patch or the
Yeah,
last
yeah,
patch.
I think it's
They
this one.
nerfed
We'll
him a
get
little
to
bit.
that. Well, let's keep
Okay,
going here.
sorry. Give me one second.
I don't want to go off on too much, but yeah. So Akali, a little bit of nerfs. Annie, this is actually a pretty interesting change. Basically, Annie's shield now also gets transferred to Tibbers, and when she uses when she uses her shield when Tibbers is up, he gets a super speed boost for like a second. But
Yeah.
I mean, he gets super fast for that second. I think that's really cool. Actually, I think this is a cool, tiny little change, but it's a really cool change to Annie here.
Yeah, and I like the molten shield on Tibbers. It's a flaming bear and then gets a flaming shield, so I think it's pretty interesting when that happens.
That is fun.
Yep.
So moving on down, we have Azir conquering Sands. Basically, this is a tooltip update, I guess. Yeah. So now it displays the actual range, and his when he has 3 soldiers out, conquering Sands will always move to the nearest soldier. I'm still very, very confused on how to move around with Conquering Sands. I've tried it, and I just don't. I don't understand how I'm supposed to move or where I'm supposed to. I always move to the wrong soldier, and I don't know why. So I'm just gonna move.
Yeah, so maybe this fixes for you then.
This
Maybe it'll
fixes
make more
obviously
sense.
for me, but I'm still very broken, and I have no idea what's going on with Azir. All right, moving on down. Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia has a higher mana cost just in general. All of her stuff got bumped up. So basically, she's gonna be a little bit harder in lane until she gets that tier really stacking. Just hurts her early game a little bit harder.
Yeah, and her late game is so good right
Yeah.
now.
Oh yeah.
So I agree with this, scale her down a little bit early so she's not a complete lane bully that just scales into an absolute monster. So,
Yeah, because she's still gonna scale very hard.
yes, absolutely. So yeah, so just slowing her down a little bit with these mana costs. As I say, if she's still getting blue from her jungler, she'll be all right. So,
So Fizz had some decent changes here. Basically, um, it's kind of everything got moved around. It feels like his Sea Stone Trident no longer like his active and passive got switched or something. So before his passive damage would do percent missing health on his attacks, and his active just did bonus magic damage. But now his active is going to be doing missing health, and his passive is going to do bonus magic damage over a couple seconds. So
yeah.
I think that it's pretty good. I think that basically means his active is a little bit more potent, and I think that it feels that way. His active is more like an execute now instead
Yep.
of his passive. I'm okay with these changes.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. And also adding the 20% to his ult, that's another thing that's compensated for the Deathfire Grasp.
Oh
I
yeah.
haven't noticed I haven't
I
really
don't
seen anybody.
I don't think that the ult thing is actually that big a deal. Giving that 20% bonus damage is really cool, but if Fizz hits you with a shark and you were the intended target, you're going to be dead either way. Normally, what happens is he will miss the shark on his main target, and somebody else will get it, but it'll still screw up the whole team and mess everybody up. So all this does is make Fizz ults have to be more focused, more targeted, because he can't just throw it out and be like, oh, somebody's going to get it.
Mhm.
So that bonus
Yeah, and
20% is cool.
also it does specify. I didn't see this previously though. That the tag champion is increased. So
Yeah.
if it hits the three other people around it, it's not them. It's only the person that was
Yeah,
tagged.
it's only
So
the
pretty
person with the
much if he,
fish.
yeah, if he gets chum on you, you're probably gonna disappear right after that hits you.
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of the point. I mean, I
Mm.
think that I like the change, but I don't think that it's going to be that big a deal because, like I said, I mean he's going to delete you or he's not going to delete you, and
Yeah,
the chum bonus damage is just icing on the cake in my opinion. It's not really
yeah,
mandatory.
yeah. I agree. As I say, previously I would occasionally see somebody get away from the chum, not very often. Now this is pretty almost a guarantee that if you get hit with that, you're a goner.
I like it because it rewards better fizz play and it
Yep.
doesn't really help poor fizzes, bad fizzes. So that's good. I'm
Yeah,
good with that.
it's just gonna encourage smarter use of your ult.
I love this next change on Kha'Zix, which is not a change, it's a tooltip update. Ooh, battery's low. It's a tooltip update, so let's just go ahead and quickly cover the rest of this stuff. I love how it's actually 2 seconds shorter than what it was, but everybody's like, "Oh yeah, it's been in there for over a year. We're just gonna move on. We weren't actually gonna fix it. Moving on." So we'll just keep going after that. Okay, sorry for a little interruption there. We had a little bit of technical difficulty with my computer, so let's go ahead and start at Nidalee here. Nidalee, what happened in Italy?
So they changed it so her passive now affects neutral jungle monsters. And what they say in the description, this is to give her an alternate gold stream. So if she's falling behind in lane, she can stop down and grab Krugs or Gromp or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah.
So basically, it's trying to make Nidalee a jungler or something. I don't know. I cannot justify Nidalee as a jungler. As I said, I don't think that Nidalee has any ganking potential or very few ganking potential. I mean, I just don't see it. I don't see it. She
Yeah,
can do damage, but she
you'd
has no CC. None whatsoever.
no, yeah, you'd pretty much just have to surprise the laner, hit him with the spear before they knew you were there, and then switch to Cougar form and try to get him.
Yeah, that's true.
But
You could hit him with a spear and then jump on them immediately with the
mhm.
cougar form, but I don't think that that's really worth it. I don't. I think that she can bring some
There's
damage, but she falls off late game, so I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's 100 other junglers that you could play instead of her.
Absolutely.
So
Which, speaking of that, we have Rek'Sai coming up next. So Rek'Sai got some big nerfs, just all around.
yep, they nerfed
Um,
her last patch too, didn't they?
yep, they did. I think she's still pretty strong though.
Yep.
I think
She's strong.
with these nerfs, it might do it because that cut quite a bit of damage out of her Q, quite a bit of damage out of her W. Granted, I guess no. I mean, it cuts the damage on her W unburrow at even low ranks. What is
Hmm.
this enemy knock-up immunity? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. So when you're burrowed, you can knock somebody up, and the
Yeah, I know
cooldown of the
that.
burrow is only a couple seconds, but they're immune from getting knocked up for that amount of time.
Oh, so it actually goes
Previously, it was
down.
10 seconds. Yeah. So you could knock them up, then you could burrow. When you come out, it wouldn't knock them up again.
I don't think that's a big change because within 8 seconds, if you're still doing a team fight and can do another knock-up, that's on the enemy team there.
Yeah,
That's
and with Rek'Sai, you're not tanky enough to be in the middle of them to be able to knock them up
Yeah,
twice.
if 2 seconds matters, then they're doing something wrong. You should have already won that game.
Yeah.
Okay, Sejuani. So Sejuani basically got a bug fix where she was doing a whole bunch of damage to towers with her flail. Interesting. I almost want to know how much damage that was because I would absolutely have picked Sejuani a lot if I had realized that she was doing.
Yeah.
This is like her like Rammus's ult does damage to towers. Sejuani's W was doing damage to towers like Rammus's ult, and like that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I want that.
I really wish they would say how much damage she was
Yeah,
doing.
I'm sure it was a lot, and because says it was a lot. But mine, I want to know. Let's see. Syndra basically got a little bit of a buff. Basically, last patch they reduced the width of her Scatter the Weak, her stun, and they said it's a little bit toned down, so they brought it back up. So they widened it just a little bit. All good.
Yeah, it's probably not a noticeable amount.
Not at all. Not at all. And Zed is the final champion that we'll talk about real quick. And his base attack speed was dropped. and his attack speed growth was severely dropped. So basically, he can't be an attack speed champion, or he's harder to be an attack speed champion.
Yeah, and I'm okay with this.
This really just going to hurt his
Zed's
split pushing, really, right?
yeah, it's gonna hurt his split pushing, but also his dominance in lane. Previously, Zed was severely dominant. As I say, I don't think this is gonna take him out of contention. It's gonna hurt him. He's gonna lose.
I don't find it taking anything to his dominance in lane because I mean that attack speed growth stat, yeah, it was really high, but you still had to be quite a bit into levels. You
Yeah.
had to be like level 9 or level 10 for it to really matter.
Yeah.
And with this change, yeah, it hurts him, but it only hurts him late game. It doesn't hurt him in lane. Like his attack speed is still going to be slow in lane, and it's just not going to grow as big.
Yeah.
So I would say it's going to be harder on the split pushing Zed, but I mean it's definitely going to hurt his dueling potential as well, even mid to game.
Yeah.
And then so texture rebalance, all kinds of texture rebalances, skipping over all those. Moving on down, jungle items. Oh, I want to hear your thoughts on this, Kendo. Please tell me, what do you think of this jungle item change?
I don't like it, but that's because I'm a jungler. So
So basically,
a lot of people have been having.
just to
Okay,
explain
go
it.
ahead.
The jungle items are all 100 gold more expensive. The second tier jungle items. There you go. Now go on.
Okay, so what I would do is clear 3 camps, be able to back, and then I could usually have around 450 gold, so I could buy jungle item and 2 or 3 pots. So that the second clear, with an upgraded jungle item and health pods, the second clear would be nice and easy. I'd be able to go off and gank. Now you can maybe buy 1 pot, if you get both buffs in a small camp. But if that's not the route you're going, you're only going to be able to buy your upgraded jungle item. And without health pots, you'll almost always have to buy the Trailblazer to be able to help you with that second clear to make it more manageable.
Or if anybody bothers
And
your jungle at all, you're kind of in trouble, or you're gonna really be set back.
Yep, exactly. And so, with the Trailblazer, you're not going to be able to take the Chilling Smite from the Stalker's Blade into lane and gank as much. And I think that's pretty much what their goal was, to delay that Chilling Smite gank, at least another clear. And they've said previously that they want to sort of remove super early ganks that can affect the rest of the game. And this is just another step towards that.
I guess. I'm not a jungler, so I can't really speak to it, but I have noticed slightly less early ganks. Not much at my level, so I can't say too much about it. So all these item changes. Aether Wisp is 100 gold cheaper. I don't really see this as a big change. This doesn't seem like one of those games that one of those items that really is bought early. So 100 gold isn't that big a deal. It's just a couple of minions, really.
Yeah, and it also says that all the items it builds out of are made 100 gold more expensive.
Yeah.
So it's easier to get a thing that's building into items, but it's
not an early game, so I mean 100 gold isn't going to really change much in my opinion.
no, not at all.
It's not one of those things. It's like, oh, my first back I got to get this, or my second back I got to get this. It's kind of a third, fourth plus back.
But now you can buy that and a pink ward.
There you go. That's true.
Boom,
That's
there
true.
you go.
Hadn't thought of that. Let's see. Blackfire Torch is also gone because Deathfire Grasp is gone. Elixir of Iron Tenacity is now multiplicative. Whatever. No. Yeah, it's multiplicative, which basically gives you less tenacity overall.
Gives you less tenacity if you have tenacity.
No, yeah, if you have tenacity, which Aurelia has, which says sorry, Aurelia.
So so if you have that and Merc Treads, that you do not buy an Elixir of Iron.
That's fine. Right. I mean, it's just one of those things, whatever. This next change, Giant's Belt. Giant's Belt now gets built out of a Ruby Crystal, and it's 400 gold cheaper. So, I mean, it's the same cost, but you can build a Ruby Crystal. I love this change. What do you think?
I agree. I absolutely love this change. So many times I'm trying to build Randuin's Omen, and I've got 800 gold. I don't really need the armor yet. I'd rather have the health. I'm playing a champion like Nautilus or Volibear, somebody that can scale off the health.
Oh, yeah.
And now I could buy, the Ruby Crystal and sort of hold that so I can get the Giant's Belt next.
Oh, there's so many items that I'm so happy. I'm so happy that that is a thing now because I buy Ruby Crystals all the time. And then it's like I can buy a Ruby Crystal and I have even more options of turning it into something. I love it.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
So Hextech Gunblade got small nerfs across the board. I don't really know why this is, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Let's see. After losing out on Death of Firegrass, some champions might be looking for healthier alternatives. So they're nerfing this because more people will be buying it
Yeah, pretty
because
much. That's the reason. Granted, it does have more ability power, but it has less attack
yeah.
damage and lifesteal, which I think this is going to hurt some of the weird people like Jax and things like that. But it's
Yeah,
not going to
I
hurt
think
them
that's
that
what they're
much.
trying to do. They're trying to make it more of an AP item, so it's more attractive to mages,
Eh,
and less
eh.
attractive to Jax. But
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
yeah,
Thanks, Ramus. Rod of Ages. Rod of Ages will now show the number of stacks. Okay, whatever. It's also some bugs with the shop. You can undo the sale, and it keeps stacks. Stealth wards were staying for visible too long. I didn't really notice this.
I did notice this a couple times because I was trying to sweep one or get rid of something, and it was still there, and I'm like, why can't I get
Well,
rid of
this is
this?
after being placed, not after stealth
Yes.
or not after sweeping. But it does make sense because right after that patch, it did feel like they did stay a little long. Now that I think about it, it did seem like they stayed a little long. So I guess they thought it was a little too long, which makes sense.
Yep.
The Zerat portal. I'm not going to cover this because there's a ton of stuff on here. But basically, the Zerat portal got kind of a mixed buff. I say it's a buff overall. The void
I agree,
spawns,
it's a
the void
buff.
spawns get more armor. They get less magic resist, less base health, less health per level, less damage to minions. But I mean, honestly, it's the armor. The armor is the one thing. It's like, yeah, you can't just wave clear them all real quick. If you do have wave clear, specific wave clear champions like Xerath, the void spawns are not really a problem at all because they have less magic resistance now. But in general, I feel like this is quite a bit. Also, they gain 100% of the summoning champions magic and armor resistant on that bonus instead of just 50%. So it's like it's
Yep.
even better on a tanky champion. Love it.
Yep. Absolutely. I still haven't seen this item used effectively. Every time I
I
see
have
it
seen it
dropped,
once or twice, and man, it is impossible to kill now. It feels like the portal has like tons and tons of health. So like I can't
did
stop it.
they buff the portal's
I don't
health?
know. It felt like was really hard to kill. Granted, I was a support, and yeah, but I was like, I can't kill this stupid thing. But yeah, I saw a Tark buy it and use it very
Oh,
effectively.
jeez.
Very effectively. It
Jeez.
was like those void spawns weren't dying, and it was just in the wrong place, so I
Okay.
couldn't top. I couldn't
Yeah.
start.
Yeah. And it also says though, it says only the first and the fourth when first and every fourth will get the bonus instead of everyone after the fourth. So they'll get a bigger bonus, but they'll get it less
Yeah,
often.
yeah.
So
So that's fine.
sort of a little balancing, maybe a little bit of a nerf, maybe a little bit of
Yeah,
buff.
it's too early to tell. I mean, the item's brand new anyway, so I can't really say it's a buff or a nerf. But I think
Mhm.
overall it's a buff. I hope that it's a buff because I want to see this item. I think it's a cool item, and I want to see it more in the game.
Yep. I would like to see it used more effectively. The only times I've seen it, people have, just dropped it in a bush right next to a tower, but it was obvious where it's come from. They didn't stay around to defend it, so we destroyed it
Yeah,
before
yeah.
it could do
I've
any
seen
real
people.
damage.
If people
So.
defend it, man, it can get off some major damage on that tower.
Mhm.
So Dragon has a higher attack range, increased attack speed, but lower overall damage. Basically, supposedly they're trying to keep it the same, but it does have a longer attack range, so it's harder to pull it out of the pit.
Yeah, and I think the reason they're doing that is because whoever is on bottom or on top side actually had a little bit of an advantage to be able to draw it out towards their team side and be able to drag it away from the bottom.
That's true.
Because
Thought about that.
if bottom was dragging it out, they're gonna just drag it closer to the enemy. So they're sort of trying
Yeah,
to
but
even that out a little bit.
with a flash or a jump, they can use that on the bottom side more effectively because they can jump over the wall to safety, like right afterwards. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gone. But yeah, I can kind of
That's
I can kind of see it either way.
But yeah, but then you could, if you're on the top side, you can also just flash into your jungle and be gone too. So
Well, I guess you really can't flash. There's nothing to flash except for towards that bottom tower.
yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
I like it. I do like that it does lower base damage on its attacks, so that when one say my 80 carry goes and starts it up and takes one blast to the face before they realize, oh my gosh, I shouldn't be tanking this. It's not going to be doing quite as much damage before I get
That's
there.
true.
So I like that.
So, ranked team decay, I won't cover this, but basically you get longer at the master tier, which I am not at, and I will never be at. So, there we go. Moving on. Featured game mode is Nemesis Draft. So, this game mode is not out. I really want to try this game mode.
I cannot wait for this game
If
mode.
no, let's just cover it real quick. If anybody hasn't heard about it, basically Nemesis Draft lets you choose the champions that your opponents will be playing. It is a ranked draft pick, or well, it's a draft pick, just like ranked, where you pick one champion on the other team, and then they pick two champions for you. You pick two champions for them, that kind of thing. It is fantastic. It's also been confirmed that you will be able to play champions that you do not own. So basically, they can give you a champion that you don't own, or they can give your team a champion that you don't own, and you can switch out even if you don't own those champions. You can play them. So I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of ridiculous comps out here. For viewers who do play League of Legends, here is a little tidbit. If you want the summoner icon, so basically they have a summoner icon that they will be giving out at the end of the event. You have to play Nemesis Draft at least 5 times, I believe, and you have to never dodge. So never leave the game just because your team has a terrible comp. If you do that, you will get an icon at the end of the event. So there you go. Just want to give you that forewarning. And that's pretty much it. Do you have anything to say about Nemesis Draft?
Not really, other than I'm super excited. I'm looking forward to the crazy team comps people are going to be stuck with, and the things people are going to try to jungle with, and all
I guarantee
that
you, people are going to give people Urgot and be like, "Oh my gosh, Urgot can actually carry a game."
Yep, that's what I'm looking for. People figuring out champions that they previously thought weren't very good. Play them a little bit and actually figure out like, oh man, Poppy, when used effectively, can smash people into walls and destroy them.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. Poppy jungle is going to be a thing.
Yeah, can't wait.
I'm bringing it back.
So that's pretty much it for the patch notes. I'm just scrolling through here. There's nothing else on here too fancy, just some bug fixes. There are up a couple little skins. Just the last thing that we're going to cover here. A couple of skins are coming up. The Warring Kingdoms Katarina, Warring Kingdoms Nidalee, and Firecracker Jinx. Arclight Vel'Koz has been released, and it looks freaking sweet. I saw it in game, and it was fantastic. It is so good looking.
Absolutely. What I want to know is who is he melting in this picture?
I don't know. It's probably Jarvan or something. I don't know. It's always Jarvan. Always Jarvan.
I was thinking it looked a little bit like a Zir. But...
Oh, that's also possible. I don't know. But okay, we're going to go ahead and quit there. Thank you very much again for coming, Kendo.
It's my pleasure.
Hopefully everybody's placement matches are going well, and you're getting out of bronze quickly. Good luck, everyone.
Yep. Don't flame. Stay positive.
Yeah, stay positive, Summoner. Exactly. All right, with that, we'll go ahead and end it here. So please like, favorite, share, subscribe, all that jazz. And, as always, you keep it salty, Internet.